We've got some news coming out of Western Pennsylvania where a tornado ripped through a church, tearing the roof off while 100 people were worshiping inside, including babies. Now, God protected these people and nobody was hurt, but we got some dramatic footage of it occurring. We've also got a little view of the live stream that was occurring inside as well. And as with every single event that we talk about here on Christian Warrior Training, we will talk about things that you can do in case something like this happens to your church and how your safety team can prepare for such events. Now, if you love Jesus and you want to keep your church safe from tornadoes and any other event that might happen, you're in the right place. Hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment. You can also get free training for church safety teams. And just for anybody that wants to be better at protecting their church, you head on over to ChristianWarriorTraining.com. You can subscribe to our newsletter and get weekly information about church safety and keeping your church safe and training, all for free. Just head on over there. All right, let's go ahead and break into this incident that occurred last Saturday in Washington County, Western Pennsylvania. Now, parishioners were inside that Washington County church as a tornado lifted the roof off the building while they were inside. Now, the National Weather Service said a tornado passed through Union Township from 6:05 p.m. until 6:15 p.m. While it was in the area, Washington County officials say it hit that church with 100 people inside. The pastor's wife, Rhonda, who is the worship leader at Crossroads Ministries, was singing on stage mid-song when she heard the noise and the power went out. The pastor said powerful winds ripped the roof off the office building that's connected to that church, and the tornado then took out the steeple, throwing it about 50 feet into the parking lot, crushing cars. The pastor said it was a miracle nobody was seriously hurt. I think we can all agree that God was watching out for them that day. I think a fitting Bible verse for this exact incident is Psalm 91:4. It says, "He will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart." Immediately after the tornado hit, neighbors and nearby people all pitched in to help clear debris and make sure everybody was okay. Now let's talk about your safety team and what you can do to prepare in case you have some kind of a natural disaster like this happen at your church. And we have to remember it's important to have a safety team, no matter the size of your church. They are more than just there for active shooters. You're more likely to use the first aid kit than your pistol on the church safety team. So the first thing you want to do is obviously establish a church safety team. If you want to know more about how to set that up, I just wrote an article today that came out over at ChristianWarriorTraining.com about exactly describing how to set up your church safety team from scratch. You want to create an emergency plan for your church. You want to identify safe areas and designate areas in the church that are structurally sound and away from windows, like basements and interior rooms. You want to be able to have clear communication in your church. You want to ensure everyone knows where to go and how to get there quickly. If you're the pastor, you need to make sure that as you're up front, you already have in your mind what you're going to say when something bad happens for different scenarios. I did the same thing as a cop. I would visualize different crimes occurring in front of me, responding to different crimes, and I noticed that as I was responding to them, they became very natural because I had thought it out in my mind already. You should be doing the same thing, thinking about what happens if there's an active shooter? What happens if the tornado hits, an earthquake hits, a hurricane hits? I mean, anything that happens, right? Somebody has a stroke, a heart attack, anything like that, an outburst, somebody starts arguing with you. Start thinking about these pre-planned things that you're going to say, so that way you can just come out and say it, and there is no confusion from the audience and the congregants about what is going to happen. You want to do emergency drills. A lot of churches, including mine, don't do emergency drills. You want to conduct regular tornado drills, evacuation drills, anything that might be a problem in your church, fire evacuation drill, anything like that to prepare for just such an event. I'll give you an example. Just go gather your church security team and say, all right, how are we going to evacuate everybody out of the church, and where are they going to go? And then start blocking off entrances. Oh, we can't. There's a fire in the lobby, so now they have to go somewhere else. And watch the confusion, because nobody's thought about how to evacuate their church. If you have tornadoes in your area, you want to stay informed and use weather radios and apps to stay updated on weather conditions in your area. You want to have an alert system and establish a system to quickly alert everyone in the church about a tornado watch or warning. If you are having a bunch of tornadoes in your area, which is happening right now in the Midwest, you want to tell your congregants, hey, if we have a tornado, the sirens sound, this is our safe zone of where we're going to go. You want to have safe rooms within your church. So if possible, when you're building your church, build a designated safe room designed to withstand high winds. And the easiest thing you can do is secure loose items. So regularly inspect your building and secure loose items that could become projectiles during a tornado. You want to have emergency supplies. You want to keep an emergency kit with water, non-perishable food, first aid supplies, flashlights, and batteries in designated safe areas. And you want to have communication devices so that you can communicate amongst staff and start emergency efforts right after that tornado hits. Now, post-tornado protocols. The first thing you want to do is conduct a head count and ensure everybody is safe. You want to give immediate medical assistance to those who are injured, and you want to evaluate the building for structural damage before allowing anyone to exit out of certain areas or to even enter into other areas of the church. If you have a total collapse of your building, you want to be wary about moving certain debris piles because it could be reinforcing a small pocket where survivors could be in. It's best to wait for fire department to get there and then use their assist them with saving people inside the collapsed structure. I hope this helps. Let me know in the comments. Leave a comment. I don't get to respond to everybody, but I read almost all the comments. I love the Christian Warrior community. You guys are awesome. Remember your ABCs. Always be caring.